Hajime, Happy New Year and welcome, citizens, to another edition of your favorite YouTube show and mine. What comics did you buy this week? Yay! And the crowd goes wild. Welcome back. I'm JT McRoberts, and we're going to take you through a quick look at my little stack of books that I picked up over the past week. Up first, we've got Defenders Beyond. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Comic-Jutsu is dedicated to trying to remain positive, but at the same time, we also want to be honest and express ourselves. And when I first saw this book, I instantly hated it just from the cover alone, because I'm looking at it and I'm asking myself, what does this have to do with the Defenders? But on the backside, at least, it does have actual Defenders. But you know me, I am a sucker for Defenders books. It was always one of my favorites growing up. For whatever reason, I actually liked the Defenders more than I liked the Avengers. I preferred it. And I can't really tell you why. I don't know. I guess I just thought it was cool because they were always fighting like crazy magic demons and devils and strange, supernatural supervillains and stuff. Since this is the most recent iteration of the Defenders, technically Defenders Beyond, I haven't read it yet. I thought, hey, issue 1, I'll pick it up, check it out, give it a chance. But man, it was just burning in my hands the whole time I was carrying it to the counter. Now, fortunately, the guy behind the register said that Defenders Beyond was actually one of his favorite books of the past few months. So I have that to look forward to. So got a good recommendation at least. So I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to read through it, give it the old college try, and see how it turns out. I'll have to let you know about that. Though if I absolutely hate it, you'll probably not hear about it because I try to remain overly positive here at Comic-Jutsu. Up next, we've got Ravenloft, issue 1, cover A. Now, this is several issues in, actually, but I just recently spotted it on the shelf. I mean, you finally notice something on a bottom shelf, even after you've looked over it several times over the past few weeks, and you realize something is there that you had not paid attention to before, and this Ravenloft comic book is one of them. Now, if you're not familiar with Ravenloft, that's one of the classic Dungeons & Dragons original settings that was originally published just as an adventure module in the what's known as the first edition era, blah, blah. It's probably very confusing and makes your eyes glaze over if you're not any type of tabletop role player. If you are a tabletop role player, you are probably already familiar with Ravenloft, or at least its most recent iteration, known as The Curse of Strahd, published for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Now, again, anyway, we don't want this to deteriorate into an RPG discussion, but every now and then I will give the Dungeons & Dragons comic books a chance, just with the hope that they will actually be good. On the whole, they're usually not great, but at the very least, they're usually entertaining for at least one read-through. Up next, we've got Shang-Chi, Master of the Ten Rings. Now, this is a brand new release. Of course, you know I am a huge mark for Shang-Chi. They've got the legacy number 145 here, so the notion is that it continues on from the original series, although, honestly, I have a hard time reading this character and connecting it with the real Shang-Chi, the Master of Kung Fu. And they've been renumbering these series as they go along. They restart with issue 1, I think, after 10 or 11 issues or so. I mean, I haven't read all of the previous issues, but yeah, I always buy issue 1. I guess that's why they do it. But I don't absolutely hate this version of Shang-Chi, but I just have a hard time reconciling it with the previous version. You know, it's just tough when those retcons happen. If you're a longtime fan of anything, you'll know that. You'll know that pain, especially my Spider-Man fans out there. I see you out there in the comments. You are not alone, my friend. You are not alone. I did pick up Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings #2. This is part of actually the previous series before he became a master of 10 rings. I don't quite understand why he can't be a master of Kung Fu. Like, what's wrong with that? But I do understand the marketing and they want to tie this into the film and all of that. And I would like the film to be successful. Although, Marvel's not the small can-do publishing house that's up against the big bad enemy anymore. Marvel's owned by Disney. They are the big bad corporate enemy. So what do I care if a character that was created by a bunch of other creators and a long time ago past is now co-opted and turned into something else? Who cares if it's successful or not? I'm a sucker for these types of books, and you probably know that since the channel is dedicated to the lost art of comic book fight scenes. But I always give them a chance. I don't always follow through, obviously, but I don't hate the previous series. I did not hate the previous series. I just didn't absolutely love them. So I'll slowly trickle forward through them. From the secondary market, I picked up a copy of Marvel Must-Haves, The Amazing Spider-Man, featuring issues 30 through 32. I have part of these issues, but not all of them. I either missed like 30 or 31 when they were originally coming out, or I've misplaced them or something. But anyway, I came across this Marvel Must-Haves version, and it actually fills in the missing part of that storyline. And to me, honestly, this is in my opinion, the final real Spider-Man story. I mean, before they rebooted him and kind of stuck him in this perpetual limbo, which I guess is appropriate for dealing with a Mephisto type character. But yeah, so this was J. Michael Straczynski's run with predominantly John Romita Jr. I mean, he was the artist on the majority of it, and I absolutely loved that storyline. I was just really disappointed at how it turned out. Okay, and for my next pickups, I went way back, like a rocking chair, back to the old days, back to the very beginning. Oops, wrong one. The very beginning, if you will, of the Defenders. Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange. Now, if you did not know, this is where it all started, because this was the final issue of this original run of Doctor Strange after it transformed over from Tales of Suspense, I believe it was. The series was canceled. Writer Roy Thomas left some cliffhangers that could be kind of followed up on later. He was hoping to bring back the Doctor Strange character in some other way, some other time, or even possibly in his own book. Oh, it's got nice Gene Colan art too. I'm literally just flipping through this. I just got it for the first time, and I've never had a chance to read these, so I'm really curious. I'm always honest about how much I pay for something, and I usually try to get a good deal. And I finally saw these online for a decent price, and I thought, you know what? Now's the time. I'll go ahead and go in on these. And this was the first part before he appeared in Submariner #22. I believe there were a few months or 6 months or maybe a year. 1969. This is not an official breakdown, mind you. I'm just showing you the stuff that I just bought. 1969. Okay, so it was a matter of months when he went from one to the other. So from February to November. Wait a minute. Why does that say, 1969? Because this was probably February of 1970. There we go. I confused myself for a moment there. I was caught in like a time vortex. Because this one is the first one, and the Submariner appearance is the next one. So Roy Thomas was actually writing the Submariner. He saw an opportunity to bring Doctor Strange into it and try to use this storyline to bring Doctor Strange back. Here we've got Marie Severin doing the art. The inimitable Marie Severin. You can see that Marie Severin coloring there. That is definitely unmistakable. She was actually a much better penciler than people give her credit for. I don't think she had, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on Marie Severin. I'm not sure what her magnum opus would be considered out of her Marvel oeuvre. But she's definitely an underrated artist. So anyway, so it went from Doctor Strange to the Submariner, and then next he appeared in the Hulk. So of course they're gathering that original lineup there. Those guys, that little Defenders Trinity. Now I've had this this copy of Marvel Superheroes for a while. Obviously I got this for a good price. You can see somebody wrote on it with black marker. Like, I don't know what would possess somebody to do that. You know, if I deface a comic book to this point, which mind you I have destroyed a few, it's only because I know I'm never going to sell it for whatever reason. So I don't know what happened here, why they did this, and then somehow this wound up for auction. It was probably, you know, part of an estate sale. It was how it was acquired and then resold. But that's just my guess. So anyway, originally presented in Hulk number 126. So from here, the Hulk joins the storyline, pick up with Doctor Strange. Last scene there in the Submariner. And when this one ends, they move on to the beginning of the actual Defenders in Marvel Premiere. Now, believe it or not, I have those on the way, but they're not here yet. So they'll appear in a future episode of What Comics Did You Buy This Week? Speaking of which, what comics did you buy this week? You've seen my stack. Now let's see yours. Anyway, thanks for watching. This will probably be a short week on videos. We've had a tragedy in the family, so I'm going to be out of town for a little bit. So I'm going to do my best to put up at least 2 videos to keep things going here at Comic-Jutsu. Do your part to keep the algorithm pumping along by liking this video, making sure you're subscribed to the channel, and of course leave a comment or two down below. The interaction helps other people find this. And of course, if you want to interact more, you can find me at all of the links down below in the description. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Comic-Jutsu. Mate!